So. Justice und Dö. Ja, Makias und Dudley. Na toll. Das passt ja wieder. Three days after the SSL successfully liberated Crossbell. Found myself being the first of my old classmates to see the city in all its newfound freedom. Also, ne, wenn dir Liberation of Crossbell gesagt wird, ist es die Prologue Liberation, nicht die Final Chapter Liberation, ne? It's correct. Inspector Agnes sits. We've been expecting you. Quite an entourage. It's a pleasure to meet you both.
クロスベルにおける監察業務担当に任命されました。短期間ですが、よろしくお願いします。
Ordinarily, the withdrawal of all Erebonia troops and weaponry from Crossbell should have happened immediately after the war. The Imperial Defense Force's occupation had caused a delay, but now it could finally be executed, and overseeing it was our mission. This critical assignment came directly from my father, a task closely linked with Crossbell's independence to boot. Veteran inspectors and Reinford were entrusted with watching over 10 Gram Fortress and the local military factory, while I was assigned to the city itself, and my primary focus would be the tower the defense force had occupied. This only knows how to do it big, don't they? Can't believe they pulled this off. I tune us out of school to help them in dealing with the aftermath.
協力に感謝する。これで被害状況はおおむね把握できた。続けて支援課が突入した時の状況だが。
I remember him from the files related to the SSS. First Division, I think? What was his name again? Oh, never mind, I need to focus on my work. Off to the 36th floor then. It's quite a gargantuan task for Makias to inspect the inside of August Tower, reviewing each shard of broken glass or overturned vase. But while working hand in hand with the local police and Crossbell Guarding Force, he set out to ensure that no offense caused by the IDF would go unnoticed. Their work was exhausting, mentally and physically. Days in, he was still on the clock long after burning the midnight oil. They'd have no time to go out for drinks with fellow colleagues. It was just him and his work. You could feel the fatigue start to eat away at him. Thankfully, there was a local cafe that had become a small heaven for his weary soul. Thanks for waiting. Here's one of our very own dark roast specials. Thank you. There's no better morning ritual than one that starts with a good cup of coffee. I can start work with my best foot forward. Hey, check out the Imperial. Yeah, a pal of mine in the tower was telling me about having to work with that guy. Thanks for waiting. Here's one of our very own dark roast specials. Much obliged. Nothing like that first cup of the day. And acknowledge this. He is determined to do the job well for the SSS, who fought by his side during the Twilight, for all of his friends doing what they could back in the Empire, and for his father, who believed he could handle such an important task. Little did he know, however, that his hard-earned day off several days later would be spent around his beloved brew. You're all out of dark roast? I'm so sorry, sir. I know it's your go-to coffee. Ours is ground with beans imported straight from Orit, but I'm afraid something happened that's made it impossible to get it back in stock. The owner was saying something about crime being afoot. Wait, what crime is being committed? Oh, sorry, sir. Listen to me. Go on. No, in fact, do go on. Detective. Well, what he said. Our morning's just not the same without your coffee. If you don't mind, could you let us speak to the owner of this establishment? Justice oder, ja. Die zwei gehen einfach wirklich auf eine, zusammen auf eine, ja. Stellen zusammen eine Untersuchung an, einfach nur, weil sie einen scheiß Kaffee haben wollen. Das ist halt so. Ich meine, es ist so on brand für die zwei, aber, Alter. Oh, das ist die Naimadi Bobcat. Die Argo war es, glaube ich. Hat sie es genannt. Yeah, the kind of thing seems to be happening a lot lately. We've gotten a number of queries about missing parcels, deliveries to the wrong address, and the like. My hunch is that the trade resuming just plain has companies in chaos. I sure hope things will calm down soon. Indeed. Thank you for cooperation. I'd have vanished after hearing what the cafe owner had to say, but wow, this runs deeper than is readily strode. It also matched up with several reports the police have received. Several communication and delivery mishaps in the confusion just after Crossbill's liberation. We eventually traced to imported goods and sundries disappearing in transit. Right, there are too many cases for it to all be mere coincidence. If the staff's testimonials are anything to go by, it's not just restaurants either, any business could fall victim. And all in a way so that they don't even notice there's a pattern. Quite the unended operation. And there are multiple perps or someone acting alone. Well, could there all be... We need to gather information. It occurs to me now that this is rather late, but I was sent from the Empire on work-related business at this August Tower just last week. My name is... Inspector Magnus Regnitz, I know. Alex Dudley of the Crossbill Police Department, 1st Investigative Division. So you knew who I was this whole time? From reports related to the SSS, I'm guessing? The 1st Division deals in foreign affairs as well, so naturally I know about you. Your father being Representative Regnitz and you being a member of Class 7 puts you on our radar more than any report. Yep. Dudley hat ein genaues Auge auf das, was Klasse 7 tut. Was schon funny ist, aber ne? Auch not bad. Alright, I'm sure. Don't let me know that frees you up on me. For the first time in quite a while, I'm not on a clock, but I'm not about to sit back when my coffee is in danger. We have no shortage of ideas to face in the days to come, and I won't let it be mired by the loss of one of my life's simple pleasures. Oh. So, Inspector Regnitz, might I request your cooperation with my independent investigation? I realize this is out of our respective jurisdictions, but I hope you might say yes, as a fellow lover of coffee. Of course, I'd be happy to assist. Sie bonden halt einfach über Kaffee. Und sie bonden halt richtig hart über Kaffee. Yeah, thus the two formed an unusual bond and opened up investigations for their beloved bitter beans. Die 2, Alter. Ah, pottery. First stop was inside the department store where Marcus questions his old friend Pottery. The reputed trader, Harold Hayworth, was next on the list, and he suggested they visit each district to interview the city's merchants. Yeah, no, the one you're talking about. Used that route all the time myself. Lucky for me, I was sure to move some things around ahead of time, so you're not hurting stock-wise. I'm thinking who is behind it is either green as grass in the underworld, or they straight have no fear of death. Or both. And what's making you think that? I don't mind answering, but it's going to cost you. Though I think I can afford to give you a friendly discount, detective. I would have thought you'd have a bigger problem with your line of work. Es ist halt auch nicht schlecht, wenn man Kontakte zu Leuten haben, die halt sich auch eben in den Grauzonen halt bewegen, ne? So that's about everything we could figure out. This is doing a lot more harm to the locals than I would have realized. It's an incredible help, so thank you. The junior SSS is everything I'd hoped for and more. Good. With all the SSS does for us, we're always down to cover for them. That's us for whenever you need it. Certainly will. I'm sure I'll be back at some point. He's got a thing on his feet and I give him credit for. I wonder why I didn't see this side of you coming. Just hadn't pegged you as the type to have connections to Diane Valley or a back alley bar. Any detective worth his salt knows there are valuable clues to be derived from the underground. Yep, this is definitely true. Suppose I'm not the only one who has had his expectations flipped then. If I read like you would be more resistant to going off book, you would be more, thought you would be more straight-laced. Don't take it the wrong way, but it applies more to you than to me. I've still got a ways to go. Quasper's independence is at stake, and I can't afford to let my inexperience as an inspector be what screws it up. I don't think... No, it's an explorer. Whoa there, sir. Oh, sorry about that. Hello, I should have stepped out of the way. I call this guy works in general affairs at Orcus Tower. Those crashes. I remember you. You're the inspector from the Empire. Sure, the other after the door. Got all the paperwork in order. You're a hell of a hard worker. I'm guessing it's easy for an Imperial to finish what Imperial started, huh? That isn't how I would put it. You know, I've been hearing lots of stories about following up again. To cue it up, they might have started calling this place for the City of Sin the way they did before the SS cleaned the place up. That's a bastard's fault. You just come in and start tearing down everything we built. Hey, that's enough. I understand lips are loose when drunk, but any more out of that mouth and it would be interfering with official business. Huh? Hey, they're shooting you around too. What are you doing, you moron? Stop heckling random people on the street. Sorry about him. He gets like this when you drink so much. Detective Darley, Inspector Agnes. Oh, I'm so sorry if my friend said anything rude. I think he's just been doing too much OT since the liberation. Come on, man, let's go. I know it's our day off, but you drink way too much, I tell you. I can't stick up for more. If you could stay for just another minute. Your friend here mentioned something about fraud being on the rise. Do you happen to know anything about it? We're in the middle of an investigation, so anything at all you could share with us would be greatly appreciated. You know, I think I might. There's been a suspicious merchant who's been selling knockoffs of brand name goods. Retailers around here have been getting inquiries from customers on them. We are thinking of giving a heads up to the police about it, so your timing is perfect. Would you like the names of the stores that were notified? That would be great, thank you. After the new lead from an unexpected source, they went right to visiting the stores specified. They were more than happy to give obvious tells for the knockoffs. The similarities between each account were almost astounding. Then, with plenty of new information in hand, they agreed to find a place to sift through their findings while resting their feet. And there was no better spot for a sit-down than a certain bakery on West Street. Natürlich, Morges. We've managed to collect a fair bit of information. Indeed, such as how the victims up to this point have dealt in import brands and foodstuffs. Brands like the Quincy Company and the Striker Corporation are among them. Where these are sold, a merchant has appeared to offer the exact same products for a much lower price. Alternatives, however, are inferior knockoffs. By the time this is discovered, the merchant has already disappeared. I think there's a connection here. Almost undoubtedly, and it ties into our current case. So fraud and counterfeit goods, huh? We're still worried about what it meant said earlier? You shouldn't be. Being Erebonian does not mean you have to shoulder the responsibilities of your entire country. Thank you, I appreciate that. But to me, he represents the majority of Crossbill's people. It makes me feel like I can't do anything to make them feel better as an imperial citizen and as an inspector. See, really are much like me in my younger years. So, you're deeply serious with a strong sense of justice that makes you want to live up to the expectations placed upon you. But now, suddenly, all the pressure has become so immense that it's suffocating you, isn't that it? I don't know. No, you might be right. The Chancellor now gone, the Empire is racing towards a new era. And amidst all this, my dad is now the representative Chancellor of the entire country. The first step we need to take for this new era is to restore and stabilize our relationship with Crossbell. I believe he's expecting of me the kind of inspections results that will work to that end. And yet here I am with my hands full with just the stuff immediately right in front of me. And help but hate how much of a good-for-nothing guy I am. You won't mind me countering this, but I think you should be more confident in yourself, Marcus. You chose the tone-filled path of being an inspector despite how difficult it was going to be. And against your young age, you've been entrusted with the most important aftermath of restorations after the war. These more than prove you're qualified, and it means you absolutely can live up to those expectations your dad has of you. I get panicked when I don't produce results quickly enough, but is the brew not truly at its most divine when the beans have been roasted longer? I'm sure you understand what I mean as a 40 lover of coffee. Yeah, you're right. I think you've been trying to rush my progress so much that it's only made things worse instead. Maybe it take a bit longer to produce results, but better to take it slow and steady than run myself into the ground. It's the way. Oh, hello, Detective. And to you too, Inspector. I don't know if I've ever seen you two in the same place before. If I recall you from that former law office, aren't you? I asked if you'd be willing to cooperate with an investigation of mine. Just taking a short break. What investigation, if I may ask? Is it about the dealer of counterfeit goods? Been keeping up with the times, have you? Yeah, Grace has been all over it. I got to thinking about how the SSS once worked a similar case, so I was going through some old leads and... What? Would you mind showing us those leads? If we can get our hands on some evidence, I might be able to get the first division to make an arrest. Oh, I don't mind at all. You've done so much for me in the past, Detective. How could I say no? Oh, but keep it a secret from Grace. If she finds out, she might end up forcing her way to a front seat on your investigation. I can picture it now. You keep it in mind. A few hours later. I've created a chatbot this time, haven't I? Und ja, diese zwei Charaktere hier kennen wir. Es sind literally die Counterfeit-Dealers von den Support-Requests in Trails from Zero into Azure. Also wir haben ja jeweils da so 2 Sidequests jeweils gehabt in den Games. Und it's literally a continuation of that. Das ist wieder die Leute. Cosmo feigns to disappoint me. We will say for a few sour moments. Don't be happy about our business arrangement myself. It's much easier to get things done this way. It's my line. I hope we can continue the most profitable of relationships. If Reverie gains its independence, then it may become much easier to do business than it was under Imperial rule. I'd welcome the return of a prime hunting ground for folks like us. Ich verstehe nicht Sachen nach. The joke's on you. It's this. And who might you two be? Well, if it isn't Minif the conman and the infamous counterfeit dealer from Calvard. So you're the smart fry that you used to cause so much trouble in Crossbow? Well, you know who I am, do you? So my past is coming back to haunt me. I never should have allowed that cursed special support section to catch me. The files the Crossbow Police Department has on you from last time came in handy. You know everything you've been up to, surrender it peacefully. So this is because of that pesky SSS, is it? In that case, what perfect timing. I've been looking for a chance to express my gratitude for all they did for me. He's completely flipped the switch. You wake up the whole city at this rate. I've had my run-ins with the SSS as well. If you're friends of theirs, then this is an excellent opportunity to release some stress. Time to get to work. You use sheer force to bring your pests to your knees. Get out here, you lackeys. Teach these four-eyed lettuceheads a lesson. No one's coming? Where the hell are they? Oh, do you? When the cops find out about a meeting spot. Damn it, this is why I hate working with crooks that always get caught. Is that directed at me? I told you, we are 2 steps ahead of you. The entire department will be here soon. I hope you don't think you can get away. Aren't we clever? All we have to do is break past you and we can run this racket over and over again. And if you won't step aside, then we will force you out of your way. Get him. Have your way, we are more than prepared to respond. Counting on Inspector Ignatz? Of course. And then there are 2. That's worth it is. What a truly tragic end. For you, as if I'd give up so easily. That's all for you. Still have 1 weapon left. Sehr bold, einfach drauf loszurennen, während er schießt, aber alright. Now do you get it? This is the Iron Hammer of Justice. He might does, you bastards. I always have a place to escape, so long as there's a horizon to reach. Why won't the engine start? Should I tell you, of course, we've already discovered your getaway plan. So we got out ahead of you and cut the engine. You're welcome to try swimming away from here, though. How caught you? Miss Counterfeit Dealer Minif. You've escaped justice in the past due to your status as foreigners, but that ends today. Crossbows and his laws are evolving. I'll put in a good word for you to see through it that you get tried here. Best of luck. Is this really how it ends? But I was perfect. How could this happen?
丸に一丸、容疑者を確保。
And so the counterfeit dealer and the swindler that had caused the stirring crossbow were finally caught. The supply routes they had impeded soon returned to normal as the investigation reprogressed. It was shortly after when Marcus heard that the cafe had restocked his favorite coffee beans, inspiring him to drop by the next day before work. So, thanks for waiting. Here's one of our very own dark roast specials. Oh, I think my jaw about hit the floor when I heard the case had been solved. Thanks to you too, it really put a dent in business. We owe you one. So the owner said it's on the house today. Oh wow, thank you.
やはり朝はこのブレンドに限りますね。
ああ、体に染み渡るようだ。朝といえばこうでなくてはな。ところで、一つ相談なのだが、コーヒーがよく合うランチを出す店を知っているのだが。
ええ、ぜひよろしくお願いします。
Irgendwie die coolste und weirdeste Bromance, die es irgendwie gibt. Not gonna lie. Die zwei passen irgendwie so gut zusammen. Aber sind auch weirdos in ihrer eigenen Art und Weise, was das angeht. Ich find's lustig. Wir machen gleich weiter. Ich mache nochmal eine kurze Toilettenpause. Bis gleich.